What up, my freaks? Ruinous Insight here with part 23 of my Total War Warhammer 3 modded Aranessa Saltspite campaign. So as we saw last time, Aranessa at High Deck was the place learned the true power of the carronades, or at least a power that was thus far hidden, and not only are they good at shotgunning enemy infantry as they close the distance, but also obliterating any kind of enemy structures in their way, which was pretty neat, and we'll see if we can't get a little bit more out of them that way, as well as we move past the Empire probably, and then up towards Bretonia, who are probably going to be much tougher. The Empire is strength rank 6. I mean, it's not horrible. And they do have 32 settlements, but yeah. Considering the followers of Nagash, one of our allies, is stronger and they're not that strong, it's still a little bit iffy, but we'll see, Aranessa has plenty to do. Anyway, what we gotta do this time around is, well, we got a lot of money to spend, those materials at sea still available, so let's make use of them. First of all, we'll start with the U-Gang Presser Sea Legs. We gotta head to Varezzo, where we've been saving a ton of things to build at the same time. Come on now, move faster. Alright, good. And we've got, let's see, free buried treasure chest, and not quite free Admiral's Mausoleum, but pretty cheap. And the Pirate Fortress is free as well. Very nice indeed. And I guess we'll build the Great Altar of the Necrarchs here, just so that we don't have to come back here and deal with that again. Now, the Gang Presser is no longer needed down here, and ooh, we'll get 2 more Necrofex Colossi capacity. We'll move you then back up to Trantio, and then back up to Maragliana right after. I guess we can build this because it's already fairly cheap. Alright, away you go. Hopefully at some point the Gang Presser doesn't get ambushed by one of these little armies. It would be annoying, but we'll see. Harry Halfmast, I suppose we'll start moving towards Bilbali, but if we see Wulfrik kind of standing there like he kind of is right now, we could probably attack him as well. He doesn't have a lot of magical damage in his army, and I'm sure we'd be able to obliterate it. Actually, if we had more movement range, I'd do it right now, but we'll see if he stays there over the next turn. We do have to destroy him. That was Harry, who's up next. Alana Lucky has moved, Charlie Sharpo right. Last episode, these guys did not sally out for a field battle, having taken the attrition, and I guess we can just auto-resolve them. Quite a bit of damage, but let's face it, it's basic Orc boys and basic Orc Era boys, and they're just not worth fighting at the current time. Occupy Storm Wrath Peak, ally mission successful, nice. And then you, sir, will hopefully be healthy enough to grab Iron Spike right after that. Are we keeping the Dead Pirates Workshop here? I'm not sure we actually need them. Our Rotting Promethean capacity, as I recall, was pretty darn decent already, but let's double check it just in case. Where's Rotting Prometheans of any kind? We're at 1 out of 26 here, and we are at 3 out of 26 here. Yeah, the building's probably not needed. I mean, I guess on the other hand, there's not much in the way of infrastructure that we can build here. A hidden fence and a pirate fortress, and then that'll be it. And then we'll have to replace the pirate gallows anyway, so I guess we could just keep it. Just keep it, whatever. I mean, at the same time, we may not even keep this entire territory, so who knows. In the meantime, though, let's get the tree and noose here, and let's get to those slave pits for money. And, okay, well, we'll do the buildings after. Let's move the rest of our forces around to see if we can't find us another battle. You, Penny Sharp, cannot reach Borgas, but what you can do is go into raiding stance and into their territory. There is no enemy here to fight after all, and oh, this is gonna summon a, another little enemy force here. A rebel force, that's the one. But oh well. Trusty Montfort will probably upgrade some stuff with you guys in a second, but we'll see if we have money remaining after, as that has to take priority. Treasure Coven, and Shore Patrol are... Wow! Shore Patrol's gonna be at sea for 5 more turns? You'd think the pirates would be pretty decent at navigating. I mean, it still saves us like 30 turns of moving up here, but damn, far longer than I was expecting. Oh well. Let's get our tech up and running, and that, last time as I recall, was something up here. Here it is. Hardened Pirate Scum. Missile resistance 5% for infantry units, and this includes, like, 90% of our roster. It even includes rotting Promethean gunnery mobs and the regular rotting Prometheans. Kind of interesting. I guess because it's monstrous missile beasts. Well, either way, not a bad thing if it does in fact include them, and then if it doesn't, they're already tanky enough. Let's get to building buildings, though this should be pretty easy. We are, well, we'll build you up when we are nearby. We can, however, build you up because you're cheap. Alright, what do we have here? San Pedro de Sur, Smuggler's Jetty, and I guess we're going to go for the slave pits here, because we can't get the back alleys. Alright, Cabreros, Dead Pirate's Lair, ooh, and expensive despite the materials at sea, and that's why we need to be careful with that money. Bullion Coffers and Buccaneer's Tavern start on the Pirate Fort as well, which is reasonably priced here, and the... no, we don't need the Night Pirates, the Dead Pirates, whatever. What do we lack capacity of? We don't have a lot of giant feeding caverns, but at the same time, we're probably not going to get like a billion terror geists, are we? And the ones built from the ships, as in from our lords that have access to shipbuilding, will probably be sufficient. So, it doesn't really matter. Hidden fence for you. Old Dwarf Road. You know what? Don't collect income here. Grow faster instead. And, oh... we still have to trade you to our camo. We need to declare a few more wars first before we do that. And frankly, same thing with Migdal von Galbarak, but it's so cheap, we might as well upgrade it and maybe get more out of it. We are keeping Lequeno and Ciernos, so we'll upgrade you as well. Let's get those trees and nooses up and running. Greedos Road, and you can have Smuggler's Jetty, Midnight Gambling Den for the control and port bonuses, obviously the plunder pile. Upgrade both of your lynching posts. It feels so weird coming from the Grimgor campaign not to have the not to have upgrades cost growth, like the Orky settlements do. But it is interesting. Anyway, you can have Tree and Noose and don't collect income, which you're already not doing. Your public order is horrid right now, but it's because of the Skaven corruption. Oh. To actually get rid of the Skaven corruption, the adjacent provinces are going to be a problem. We'll need to decorrupt you, which means turn off the growth and turn on Vampire Corruption +2. This place might actually rebel, but I don't think there's much we can do about it right now. Anyway, Susuria Wood, let's upgrade the Deckhand's Boneyard here, Vaults, Carrick Bufdar, Effigies for more public order, and then Barrack Dawa's Bag. I'm not even going to bother upgrading you because we'll be trading you shortly. Alright, we do have a little bit of money remaining, which means we should have enough to build at least a few of this stuff. That made sense. Weather deck for you, O-Bones, and I believe what we wanted... let's see, we have the cannons here. We could potentially go for either the bulk cargo hold or the Crow's Castle. We don't really need the... I mean, I guess the Tiller might be somewhat useful in territories we conquer from things like the Skaven. I mean, the public order here is going to be problematic just because, or just by virtue of the Skaven corruption. But once the Skaven corruption is gone, then that's a complete waste, which is kind of what bothers me. Actually, wait. Oh, because we don't have Aranessa's thing, we can actually still build one of these. Oh, that's interesting. Well then, this actually gives us Necrofex Colossus. You know what, we'll do the Tiller for now. But we'll delete it later once we're out of the Skaven territories. And we will also... well, no, we're not going to build a basic wooden hull, it's not useful here. But we will build the lookout seat and then the bulk cargo hold and get capacities for literally every type of unit. Nice. Then what we'll want to do is move... I mean, I guess we can upgrade your thing. It's 9k. It's a little bit steep, but we're making good money now, so... ancillaries, where's that ship's carpenter? Take that. And immediately upgrade that sea cabin. And also immediately upgrade that mutineer's rest. And wait, we need... how many for the great cabin? A moment. 16, alright, so we're not quite there. I guess we could upgrade a few of these things as well, just not the ones that cost... yeah, not the ones that cost growth, because we'll want to max out the cabin. Do you have a cabin that's ready to go? Yes, you do. And do you? Yes, you both do. Alright, I guess we're spending money then. And quickly, ancillaries, ship's carpenter. We gotta get these guys up and running because I want their armies up ASAP. And, just upgrade the upper deck, why not? It's already there. And then you do the same, ship's carpenter. Like so. Faster we do this, the faster we can have both of these armies on the field. Alrighty, that looks good to me. There's a little bit of money remaining, but we need it for materials at sea, and I believe we end the turn now. Lord not moved, unassigned skill points, buildings, heroes, commandments. In Pavona Road, oh, I guess we did just take it, didn't we? Yeah, you're gonna dredge the sea as we always do. We will actually collect income here shortly, but yeah, a little bit later. Alright, outpost upgrade available with Carrick Asgal. No, not while we have materials at sea. Later on. Although I am curious to see, materials or otherwise, how close we are to our first Mortis engines. Ooh, in fact, we have access to our first one. Okay, wait. The Ghost Army needs their Mortis engines. We need to build them somewhere where they won't get killed, but we also need to build them relatively close to Herald Halfmast. Do we have a free lord we can borrow that we've summoned before? And yes, I'm absolutely nickel and diming this. Recruit rank +1 out of you. Out of Instigator. Any other Instigators? You're an Instigator as well. 2 to 7 versus 4. Alright, I'll just build you. We Pete the Treacherous. That's a pretty good name. Let's get you on the field. Let's immediately build up the Mortis engine, or at least our first one. I love it. And if we can get a second one for this army, that would actually complete the army, I assume... Oh, these guys don't actually have access to hex rates. I wanted to get at least a couple of hex rates in there. Oh well. How are the Disciples of the Maw doing? We do have Gorgers, but it's Lead Belchers that we wanted. Sylvania's new, so we won't have access to their stuff. And then the Followers... We could use a couple of Sepulchral Stalkers just for anti-large in a sort of gunnery army. But not crazy necessary. I'm more interested in a few other things, but for now I think we're okay. Warplog Jezzails. We do have access to them here as well. Certainly potential for that in an all-gun army, though our guns would generally be superior. They would add nice long range. The Death Globes. If we really wanted to, there's potential for replacing a few of the a few bomb units, like the zombie-powered gunnery mob bombs, with a few Death Globes.
The sea brings death.
Especially since we're not technically leveling them in this army. Globes would be nice, and they would work quite well with these guys, though the Death Globes would be a lot more threatening to our own units, to be fair. I'll give it some thought. We could also technically use a gunnery wide in here. We have enough cannons and enough range units to make use of it, but anyway, I digress. Let's end the turn, and let's proceed and find us some battles here. And just some stuff to think about. I do like theory crafting different armies. It's one of the best parts of this game. And just the sheer variety that you can get with the armies that you build, especially with the advent of the Allegiance units. I've been very happy with the system, minus the difficulty with which it is sometimes to acquire those units and how long it takes to get Allegiance, the biggest deal. You, no, we're not piecing out with you. I really need the Blue Roses to actually kill you. Alright, Middle Sea Brigands. Have we sighted them yet? Well. You might take Ravola. Charlie? What's the likelihood he goes for this? I mean, Aranessa is pretty far. We may have to have somebody else deal with it. I don't actually know what's in your army, and whether Charlie could take it. Alright, constructor, it's all fine. We got that tech researched. Let's... I wonder how this army is programmed to function. Will it avoid the fight or directly go for a fight? Like, if we pop into an camp right here, outside the garrison, we would be able to draw the garrison, even if it ain't that much, into the fight. We got a bunch of Norskins. That makes sense. They don't like Aranessa all that much. Alright, Charlie, your army's still damaged. You may have to try to hold this up for Aranessa. Hopefully she can at least go for the final army, the most difficult one. But for now, we'll deal as we are. We do have Forger here. Why do I have you for? Oh, because you're a plunderer. You were originally made to raid stuff. Not that you're doing too bad. Let's get you drowned and bound. A little bit more upgrade for those animated hulks. They'll need it. And the Vampire Fleet Captain, we have the Soul Blight. Anything here that would help those units that we have here? We do have the Zombie Pirate Boarding Crew from Raise Your Cutlasses. Let's get you. Is it better to get that than more Soul Blight? I don't know. Maybe it is. Maybe it isn't. But that's what we've done. So it's too late to change our minds now. First mate. You know what? Let's get the bonus versus infantry out of silver musket balls and cutlasses. It will really only help the boarding crew, but we're running out of things that are really super critical to get, as in terms of upgrades. I don't think there is anything else that is super critical at the current time. Missile resistance for artillery, but you know what, actually, no, let's get trained gun hands. I like the missile resistance on the deck gunners because they're just so fragile. You look at them the wrong way and then they explode. It's almost like they're Skaven technology. Anyway, Aranessa, you are in the Empire. It would have been nice for you to take out Karl Franz on your way to Bretonnia. Either way, I think for now we'll... Oh, I guess we do have the advent of being able to travel the... travel through undead territories, because we won't suffer attrition on, well, the relatively limited amount of undead units in Aranessa's army. Haidek will be trading you shortly. Maddie, your turn. Take Pugno, please, in, I guess, Parley stance. We'll need to actually keep you in Parley stance, most likely. Away you go. And... oh, wow, really? Really? This? Alright, we might fight this because, you know, it won't let us, but they have no chance. Come on. Lana, you cannot reach Pavizano here. I would actually like to see you fight a little bit more, but we'll do so later. Let's have you raid for a turn. And not too bad, 1.5k from that. And we'll certainly take it. Harry Half-Mast. Wulfrik is still there. Is this the time to declare war on him while we're fighting another nearby faction? Yes, it is, and no, it isn't. No, in the sense that we will do it anyway, but yes, in the sense that I'm confused. I've confused myself, so I don't know what I'm saying anymore. I do see an army here, so if Penny takes Borgas, she'd probably get killed by this. We're gonna need to wait for O'Bones to come down. Though, of course, this army could jump up here. And this is one of the problems of attacking Wulfrik. But we're still gonna do it. Oh, Bones. I think we give you back the ship's carpenter to complete your upgrades, though. Alright, you know what? We'll save you for later. Let's do this fight first. You, Parley stance, Wulfrik. You're currently at war with Monte Castello, but, you know, Aranessa has to destroy you. 'Tis the only way. Well, let's upgrade everybody, give them their points, and ooh, we do have Wind of Death available now. Let's get 2 points in there. And I guess we want magical reserves here. Actually, you know what, if we're going to overcast Wind of Death, we probably want Earthing. You will probably want... okay, Drowned Dead is maxed out already, which ain't too bad. Evasion, and you can get the same thing, double up on Wind of Death. I don't believe anything here buffs the ghosties, right? Not that I'm aware of. I mean, I guess Feed the Fish does buff the Mourn Ghouls, but frankly, they don't really need it as much. Do you have a stock ability? Yeah, you do have Deception, so let's get you that. And that means we won't have Earthing on you, we'll just need to keep it in mind. Maybe we should have just gone for Curse of Years on one of you. We'll be fine. In fact, we need to be really careful with Wind of Death, because it'll rip through our own sirens and basically kill a unit if it touches it. So, yeah, very dangerous. Very dangerous indeed. Now, we do want to move through this portion of the tree. Reduce enemy army for characters. Enemy charge bonus. But it's only for enemy characters. I guess if we're going for characters... honestly, it doesn't really matter. We're probably going to get both things. Let's get the melee defense reduction. And then, honestly, 5 armor is not significant enough to care about it. Maybe Spectre might actually be better. Maybe the enemy charge bonus. It's a pretty massive debuff, minus 50% between the two, and then we'll get these to buff up the units. You, similar sort of deal. Let's go for Ravenous on you, and then let's get... What did I get? I get Ghastly, right? Let's get you Ghastly. There we go. All right, time for a nice fight. Wulfrik, declare war. Don't call your allies to help. There's no need, because if his army does get destroyed here, he'll be done for. Let's also hope that he doesn't run from this. Don't you run. You've got the garrison. Pyrrhic victory, that's what I like to see. Does he have any casters, though? He does not. And without the casters, he's going to have a big problem fighting the Sirens. The splash damage coming out of the various units of mammoths and trolls are going to be a bit of a problem. And then Wulfrik, of course, has the Sea Fang ability, which is a wind magical damage, so that'll be the biggest threat. But otherwise, we're looking pretty good. Attack. Alright, barely any time for his speeches as Sea Fang moves right on in, though it looks like it... Oh, it did clip a unit. 15 Sirens instantly destroyed, and it looks like a little bit of damage to our Night Terror's Mourngulls as well. Hopefully Wulfrik won't be able to get the opportunity to activate it again. We have Vanguard deployed our entire force, with the exception of these two Vampire Fleet Captains, towards the enemy army. And we are hoping to destroy them before their reinforcements arrive. Away we go. Alright, and the enemy is going to have a difficult time against our Ghost unit. It's going to move a Tide Call in through those piles of Norskins before the Sirens hit and engage them, together with all those Mourngulls. We're also going to go immediately after Wulfrik with our Mourngull Haunters, and they're absolutely destroying him. Yeah, Chariot is not so good. He should be on foot, or he should be on his mammoth against the Mourngull Haunters, because he's done very, very quickly. You gotta love the effectiveness of those heroes. Now, the enemy has monsters moving in, the mammoth there, as well as a feral manticore, but they are trapped amidst all of those Sirens and Mourngulls. And it's looking pretty darn good so far for this particular army. And down here we've got a little bit more difficult, as our Mourngulls here are getting a little bit of damage on them from the Great Maw Herd of Bloodfjord and these Marauder Berserkers, but we got more units moving in to hit them in the back. We did deploy 2 units of Sirens and 2 units of Mourngulls to get around the enemy army. I was thinking that we would need them to prevent the enemy from getting too much mileage out of their range units, but frankly they weren't getting too much mileage out of them anyway, and now they're gonna get none. Lovely. Engaging a few more. Even the Marauder Horsemasters have been caught, and I'm sure they'll try to escape and wheel around, but well, what are they gonna do? We've seen the effectiveness of this Ghost Army before, and clearly that effectiveness has not waned. Certainly it would have a very difficult time fighting against a demonic host, but you know, in the name of rock, paper, scissors, we probably wouldn't be sending them to fight demons. Alright, what do we have left here? There are a decent pile of Marauder champions in this particular army to take care of, so we will have to work our way rather slowly through them, as they're a relatively elite unit for the Norskins there. Kind of interesting that that Wulfrik has deployed all of these Marauder champions, all with great weapons, and I think he had no whalers, just a regular Norskin javelins. Probably should have upgraded those to whalers as well. Maybe done a little bit more range damage, or at least as much as he could. Anyway, it looks like Wulfrik's army is pretty much done for, and the enemy is moving in with some reinforcements, managing to catch out one of the units of Mourngulls with a charge from the Feral Manticore, Feral Mammoth, and enemy Marauder Chieftain. We've only lost 2 models here, and we should be able to hopefully heal them up with an Invocation of Nehek as they get out and recover. And we're going to head everybody else in to try to bail out those units of Sirens and whatever other Mourngulls remain caught with the rest of our army. And the only reasons those ones got caught in the first place was because they were chasing another unit from Wulfrik's army, which is at this point had been destroyed. Snip, snip, as the rotting Promethean amount of the Lord. I believe that's the Lord. Yes, not a vampire fleet captain. Starts to do its work. The enemy mammoth gets surrounded by the Sirens and our Lord and those Morngul Haunters. If they can take out a Wulfrik, they can certainly deal with a mammoth without too much trouble. And a few more isolated units running around, trying to chase down the Great Maherd of Beloved Fjord with whatever units we can, and unfortunately the Night Terror is just rampaging somewhere, trying to chase units, rather than helping out. But it's not like it's a big deal anyway. The enemy army is just having a very difficult time dealing with any of our units. They just don't have the right army composition for this, and hey, some Norscan warhounds coming in to try to help out. Although I sincerely doubt they're going to add too much to the fray. And I do believe the battle is pretty much ours, 90% in our favor. Whatever other units tried to flank us get obliterated by the Sirens and by the Morngulls, and the rest of the army will shatter and giving us the day. Very nice. Very nice indeed. We have quite a bit of chasing to do, and as we can see, barely any damage on most of our units. Just a couple of units that got isolated and damaged. Well, the damaged Sirens aren't actually all that hurt, and frankly, the Morngulls with 7 out of 10 are still at 70% HP, and even then, we'd probably be able to recover to full post-battle by eating captives or whatever, so we're looking good here. Alright, most definitely happy, not helpful, happy with that result. Wulfrik got absolutely annihilated, and hardly surprising when he had very little in the way of magical damage. A couple of our units got a little bit mauled, but they will heal to full and will be just fine. Though the damage is high on the Night Terrors, they can be a little bit of a liability due to that rampage that they have, unlike the regular Morngulls. So yeah, they became relatively useless about halfway through the battle. On the bright side, these Morngulls got 232 kills and actually beat them in kills, if not quite in damage, and the Sirens held the line admirably and did plenty of damage as well themselves. 24k seems to be the upper limit for this particular fight. Anyway, well done to everybody. 27k on the Morngul Haunters. Yeah, they ripped Wulfrik apart with no issue. Very nice. Of course, he didn't have his mammoth, but nonetheless. Alright, and then we'll head to Sahagun, and then we'll probably destroy this place afterwards. Shouldn't be a problem. Take a little bit of damage here, I'm sure. Yeah, actually not really. And goodbye. And we'll be keeping the place. And we will also be destroying this clannish and Undercity. Ugh, I hate to spend the money on that, but, you know, you gotta do what you gotta do. Tree and Noose. Lovely. Well done to Harry, and Wulfrik will be done. And then the next few turns, we are still very high reliability. Whoa, Strength Rank 2. Whoa, 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 whoa. Who out-strength ranked us? Sylvania, followers of Nagash are allies. Huh. Kurun has dropped to 7. Reichland, Oracles, and Kurun are 5, 6, and 7. Hag Grief kind of likes us. Disciples of Hashad are 9. We can't see number 1? Wait. I assume it's Archaon. Is it Archaon? We can't see him, can we? I don't see any of his territories. Yeah, it's because he has no coastline. Okay, I'm 99% certain that it has to be Archaon, because who else could it possibly be, right? And Archaon is probably in a better position in the in Old World than he is in the regular game, as in Immortal Empires, if not that different, let's face it, but nonetheless, as in his starting positions. But if anybody else has any idea as to who else it might be, do let me know, because I am curious. Anyway, let's continue. You, sir. You have to get back. Oh, I should have probably just sent you out to sea. Well, I guess there's no port here, so you're just going to Trantio either way. And oh, it's going to take you 2 turns to get there? Oh no, we might not be able to return to Miragliano then. The Miragliano is nearly done, so yeah, we might as well go to Trantio anyway. Alright, to Trantio you shall go. Who else needs to move this time around? Maddie? Oh, right. You have this little fight. You know what, we could wait here and heal up, but I'm sure either they'll sally out or we'll heal to full and we'll be able to auto-resolve it. I mean, Maddie's one with the same army, and in fact with worse versions of her army. Much, much more difficult fights. Oh, Bones, you are going to move out here. And in fact, wait, I wanted to see whether we could build a few more things in your army. As in your ship. But it depends on whether we have treasury remaining after you've moved, so we'll wait on you for a second, and then we'll do that. Trusty Montfort, you no longer need to do anything because we're waiting for the Great Cabin upgrade. Also, we'll want to start getting those harpoon launchers up and running, although that'll take a while, obviously. And not to worry. Penny Sharp. I guess you're stuck here until we figure out what this rat army is going to do, so just going to ambush stance for now. And just sit there. Oh, Bones, you're coming in to reinforce. Tiny Tim, I would like to send you to Bilbali to see if there's anybody there. Alright, so that was Penny, Dick Bootycatcher, and Two Toes Adley. Neither of you, I take it, actually needs to build anything. Build your anchors. They're cheap enough. I'm not even going to bother transferring the ship's carpenter. Charlie Knott, you... Briefly, we're going to reduce some construction costs, but it wasn't needed. I guess you're still moving up here. I guess we need multiples of these guys. But we can build the other one here, very close by, to give to Penny Sharp. Alright, Indiana Bones and Treasure Coven, we don't need to move you, and Shore Patrol cannot move. We only have 1 treasure map left. Yeah. Can't believe we ran out of treasure maps. Wasn't expecting that to happen, but here we are. Alright, well, there is still buildings to do, but not much in the way, but I think we'll call it here and save that for next time. Pretty decent fight, and I'm hoping we can get some pretty decent fight against the remnants of the Skaven faction, because I'm sure that they have at least a couple armies out there, since there is a very slight balance of power remaining. Once they're done, we set sail for Britonia, and I think next episode we'll face our first of the infamous admirals, Reich Admiral Huhoff. I will hope that he attacks Charlie Sharp, and if he doesn't, we'll have to lose Rivola and then hunt him down ourselves. Anyway, stay tuned for that. Don't forget to leave those likes and comments below, as it will determine scheduling for this second channel campaign. All glory to the algorithm, and thanks for watching.